Welcome to SavvyTalks, the podcast that explores the world of earning money online with your host, Kris Marie Dano. Each week, Kris brings you insightful conversations with experts and entrepreneurs from various industries, sharing tips, strategies, and inspiring stories to help you on your online money making journey. From managing your finances to developing a winning mindset, SavvyTalks covers all aspects of building a successful online business. So sit back, relax, and tune in to learn from the best in the business on SavvyTalks with your host, Kris Marie Dano.
Hi, welcome to the very first episode of Savvy Talk podcast, where we talk about mindset, money, habits, and motivation. And because it is the very first episode, it means a lot to me. And so my first guest as well in this podcast is very special. She's my best friend ever since high school, and we also work in the same industry, which is the digital space. And as a brief introduction about her, Sheryl is currently a mom of one. She works online for almost 5 years now. And from being a working student to a working mom, as a new mom, Sheryl thought that she will be able to achieve her dreams, especially since most people say that things will be different when you have a child. However, she decided not to have the mindset of the norms because she's convinced that being a career woman and being a mom can be done at the same time. With that, she invested in her skills and applied to get more clients. So even though she get rejected a lot, she did not let it phase her, and it made her realize that rejection is part of the success. And now Sheryl is earning a six-figure working with two clients, and her current position is an executive assistant with that, or at least also a social media manager. So with that, let's welcome Sheryl Suzon-Kempis, and she preferred to be called Chet. Hi, Chet. Thank you so much for having the time to join me on this podcast.
Hi, Kris. Well, it is my pleasure to be joining here.
Yeah, and it's amazing with all the things that are going on in our lives, and we're still connected. And I'm really happy to have someone to share about working online and just working digitally with and remotely with all the things that are going on of like pandemic and now these new things that are coming and just like economy and all that. But yes, can you also introduce yourself to our viewers and listeners just to like let them know more about you?
Sure, Chris. Sure, Chris. By the way, congratulations on your book. Yeah, said I am a new mom. In terms of, I started as a customer service representative and worked only with one client because I was also studying at the time, finishing my degree. After that is, as I graduated, I actually explored virtual assistants and sort of invested as well with enrolling to agencies to get a certificate just for me to have a to be able to get a recommendation from my clients and for them as well to know that I'm a legitimate virtual assistant with a specific niche. After that is I actually, became a mom, which was actually a struggle a bit. And I actually worked only as a part-time, and I was not happy with the amount of money that I'm getting. So I was actually kind of feeling down at the time as well. I'm also having this experience of how am I really the same person? Is am I still having that vision of, achieving the dreams that I really dreamed of before I have my daughter, and I I s- I tend to overthink a lot and stress out myself because of that. So what I did is that I talked to my husband, and I informed him that, I really want to work still and continue to go look for clients that I can work with, and by making sure, that I can still take care of my daughter at the same time, earning and still doing the dreams that I've been dreaming of. So, of course, I actually uh first uh I find someone to take care of my baby, which is a sitter, and which we were able to find one. And it's been a lot of struggle too, because um there are, attitudes, something like that, that we also keep on, um what do you call this, like, get another one, replace another one, because that person is not really suitable to our needs, and it's actually affecting me personally too. So it's really been a juggle, but to to sh- to make the long story short, I was able to get someone to take care of my baby now. And also, I was able to get clients that is also very understanding of my situations. At the same time, I am earning the amount of money that I've been dreaming of before. I'm still in cloud nine right now, because I really didn't imagine that I can still have, or I can still achieve that, even though I have my daughter right now, because I do have this mentality before that I will not be able to have it. So yeah, that's a long introduction though. I think I'm sharing something as well.
No, that was a great one. And it's just so amazing because I've seen you, I mean, I've watched you and observed how you transition from doing working online. And also I think you were also funding or like taking care of your family at that time when you were single, and transition
Yep.
into a career woman and now a mom, and all that. You were also building a career, going for your dreams, and that's just simply amazing. And I know you started also with like a little bit to zero knowledge of how this industry works, and that's why I am also inspired by you at that time. I do believe you're like my senior in like working online, digital stuff, and just being able to work from home. And with the ones you mentioned about like your agency, like as you are starting out, you started applying for agency. How did that work for you? Like, what do you think as a freelancer, or if there's an aspiring freelancer listening right now, what do you think you would advise them to do to decide if they should also get an agency, or they should just wing it and go for a direct client, applying and putting themselves out there?
Oh, well, that's a really great question, Chris. Well, my advice is you can actually do both, but it would be great if you do a direct client, because, the offer is much bigger, and most of the clients that are working directly are also more flexible. So it also depends on your niche. I know you also knew about that. But for me, on my end, I started in the agency with my first client, so I cannot really go out yet because my client is stable there. However, I work with them in the flexible hours, which is also great. And I also talked to the agency as well regarding with my rate. I actually shared with them that I've been paid with my other client like this, and I also shared that my expertise is more than the rate that you are offering me, which they actually also gave me a raise at some point. So that's also one thing that I like about the agency that I'm working right now. So also with those people, or with those who wants to start with their journey, go where you can actually get a client with. So again, it's really great with direct client, and just make sure that you are also well invested, because with direct clients, they are also, they are thinking that you are applying directly to me. You should have your skills ready, and you don't need much attention in terms of managing. because they know that you are someone that they can trust and rely on. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, that's really important also to notice. I mean, to note, I actually love that you have to get yourself ready about micromanaging because that's the pros and cons of like direct clients and the agency. And with that, how did you find yourself and put yourself into the direction of niching down or like just saying that, okay, these are my expertise or just trying to find it? Because I know you've been through all throughout this industry, you've tried different things, social media, executive assistant. And how did you come up into like a point where you say, okay, now I'm going to be an executive assistant, period, because I feel like this is where I should put all my focus.
Well, that's a really great question too, Chris. Well, I actually realized that it's really my strength there. Like, being an executive assistant, I've been doing that stuff for like more than 2 years now because I started a CSR, and it also can connect with CSR because I believe I am confident with my communication skills that I can actually deliver and talk to clients, especially with scheduling an appointment, calling them to ask something regarding with my client's request or rescheduling or whatsoever kind of request. So yeah, I also make sure as well to just focus on one so that in terms of applying, I can actually just really sell myself very effectively and very easily so that the client will be able to really trust with my skills and with my strength because they can see it on hand on the interview on how confident I am. Because before, if I actually sell a lot of things, which is also great that you learned a lot of things, I am actually a fan of that because learning a lot of things really helps as well within this industry. But it's just really great that you have a specific one that you can actually sell yourself with the clients, especially with the competition right now. And yeah, so basically just really focus on that, and because it will help you get more clients easily, and you are being more confident in terms of selling yourself.
Yeah, and that is very important, like how you sell yourself. And with that note, how do you think, or what advice do you think can you give to someone who is trying to be out there? Like I know there are also introverts who wants to do freelancing, and it's the biggest struggle they could ever have, or like one of the biggest struggle they have is how to sell themselves. And I know there are ways to do that, like just not show yourself, is just like write them down and send them an email or a letter. But with just communication, what do you think is the main point that they can try to practice in terms of trying to sell their services to the clients or to their potential clients?
Oh, well, with things like that, with introverts and such, I know it's really a struggle for them, to face clients. So, I can say that they can actually start with like article writings because I do believe that introverts are also, have this a lot of thoughts in terms of how to express themselves. So I believe that they're really great in that area. So if they don't
Yeah.
want to, speak to the client with a face-to-face conversation, they can just actually send them an email and then just provide their portfolio with how they write. And I believe that there are also clients that really hires with just not seeing you at all. And I also experience having the interview with an audio. So it also happens. And I think I heard from someone that is also not a fan of showing herself with clients interviews, and she just actually communicate with the client directly that is it okay that my face is not showing on the on during the interview because I'm a shy person, but I can still answer your questions like that. You're actually starting to talk directly with your client with your thoughts, because I believe that clients from especially with international clients, they love if you are proactive, if you really want to share your thoughts, and also of course check you first during the interview if you really fit with their preferences or with their needs. So yeah.
Yeah, I like being like the one you said about being proactive because that is actually really true. And sometimes you don't know until you actually say it and reach out to
Exactly.
them that this is, can I do this? Is this possible? And you get surprised because I think that's like culture difference of like, this is what you're
Mm-hmm.
used to. It's like, okay, it's set here and this is just how it is. But then you start finding international clients and then you learn that, oh, this works for them. And yeah, by being proactive and just getting yourself out there. And for you, what do you think is like one thing, especially as a mom, like being proactive at the same time juggling from one thing to another and just putting yourself into both like online and physically exhausted by I think
Mm-hmm.
your kid is also just growing up and she still needs guidance or she still even if you have someone who takes care of your baby or your kid, you still need to be present because they're still in like the growing up stage, and it is very important to be intimate and being present. And how do you feel like being proactive towards your client, even after you've done your work and now you have to do this and now you have to take initiatives with all these things bound together, how do you handle them?
Oh, well, I just really handle them when I just really say directly to my clients that, I'm a breastfeeding mom. My baby is very clingy. She really needs my attention from time to time. So I really just say it directly to them. And also ask for a favor that, I can actually work and finish all the tasks as well, but it's just really not on the 8-hour shift that you want me to do it, but I can do it in a staggered amount of time. But I'll make sure, that I can really finish it up with those time frames that I have provided or mentioned. So yeah, I just really, just inform them directly. And I'm with other clients, I'm not sure with other freelancers or VAs, but for me, I have experienced so far that my clients are very understanding, especially
Yeah.
when they tell me that when we have a certain meeting, especially it really happened when we have a company meeting, and then my baby woke up because I'm again a breastfeeding mom, which is really she really needs to take her milk. So I really ask for a permission that I need to step out of the meeting because my baby needs this, and they just say that it's totally fine, and they even are explaining that family is more important than work. So I think it's also very important that you are in a company that really value that really appreciates you and appreciates everything that you do, because everything will just flow. Because I work with my client, with my first client, I was still not pregnant. Like I was working with them for a year, so everything was good. And then when baby happened, they are very, very, very supportive about it. So in terms of work, they just really want me to do the things that are really very important, and then just let them know directly if I need more time. So with my second clients, it's still the same thing. The thing with my second client is that I'm just more on managing or just like monitoring. So which is also I can take care of my baby at the same time. So it's just really getting really understand as well your situation, because it's just a two-way relationship. You provide them result, and they also provide you with the same value, with respect, with what you have, with your time with your kid, and I think everything will just flow.
Yeah, and it's really important to know who you want to work with and who you are
Exactly.
compatible with working with people. And I've done that. When I was a freelancer, I have let go of clients that I know is not compatible with me in a way that it's not good for both of my health and
Mm-hmm.
mentally and physically, because it was exhausting me, and that wasn't that wasn't advisable to anybody, because we do get to a point, especially if you're a freelancer and you're new in the industry, you get like, oh, this rate,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this great things, and then you just keep getting more clients and more clients until you're not really practicing the good practice of freelancing. And I do believe that as Filipinos, or like as someone who has a different culture, we do have that
Mm-hmm.
shyness with like especially as you like a mom, of like, oh, getting excused in the middle of the meeting,
Mm-hmm.
or asking for this as a favor for the clients. How do you handle that uh emotion, or that state of feeling shy, feeling a little bit embarrassed for asking this favor, but still being able to communicate it well with your clients right now?
So to answer that question, maybe I'm really not a shy shy person in terms of, asking for favor. It's because it's just really this is just my thought. I am just really confident with the things that I provide to the clients. So in terms of asking for favor, I know it's a little bit of, a favor to ask, but um I also make sure that when I ask a favor, I actually provide a counterpart of it, like, that would really make the client happy as well. So I think it's just really a matter of, providing excellence as well with your client, and things will just really go after in terms of asking favors and such. And second is also, making sure that your clients are really compatible with the relationship that you have with everything, because as you said, I also work with with the client before, or with clients before, that are really, not really, that is really giving me stress and exhaustion. And I even mentioned that to you, working with, I did resign to that client because that client is really giving me some time to, just really, you know
Yeah.
anyway.
Like, yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway, yeah, and it actually sure, it actually helped me, get a client as well, to provide a more better environment and better relationship, a better working experience. So I think it's just really a matter as well of, choosing your clients too. And I know that if you're a first time freelancer or first time VA, sometimes um you just really jump to the client when is whoever is hiring, whoever is looking for someone. So yeah, it's really okay. Well, if you want to follow that line, but just make sure as well that you are really prioritizing your health, your mental health, your that you will not be feeling stress and such. Because
Yeah.
me working with these clients is gonna be a lot of trouble, especially if you're a mom. And it would just really help you if you will be able to get a client that is really a healthy client.
Yeah. I it's that is again one of the most important points to really take note, is that you're taking care of yourself, no matter which path that you take, no matter what decisions you decided to do, but it is important to put yourself first. I know it's kind of like selfish in a way, because like, oh, putting yourself first, but health is wealth, and you can't really help others if you are not healthy yourself, or if you're struggling. And sometimes you feel you fall down into like that sinkhole of not being good enough, because then you're mentally exhausted, even if after
I agree.
physically exhausted. So, and especially as a mom too, and I'm not there yet, but I've seen my sister, even though she's also like doing, or like working in a corporate, or like she's working in the government, and she's like a corporate setting, but
Hmm.
still there is like a huge difference. And for you, what do you think is the biggest like hurdle with your transition with being a mom as someone who's been already working in the digital space or like freelancing industry? Because when you were single, you could just do this and just being productive, bum, bum,
Mm-hmm.
bum, whole day. Like different with being a mom, because then there's like a 5 a.m., 4 a.m., 3 a.m., waking up or other things, buying this and doing this at the same time in the middle of working. Plus, you also have to be like a wife at the same time to your husband and doing this. And it amazes me to actually witness that to some other like people I know. And since you're here, I want to ask more about that too, of like, how do you handle all the transitions in your life?
To be honest, I really don't know how I was able to handle it because it's really really hard, and to tell you, when I'm actually in cloud 9, when I actually got my dream of getting a six figure, because it's really my dream before getting or having a child. And when I actually experienced that, it actually made me realize that with or without a kid, I think it's really the mindset that is really very important, because I am very optimistic before, but when I actually became a mom, it actually there were a lot of downfalls, like a lot of struggles from being negative, being so stressed with things, a lot of overthinkings because of postpartum depression, and by just really a lot of things, a lot of struggles. So I think it's just really on in a mindset as well, that you'll be able to handle things by also making sure that you will still have time, like take note of the time management, like you still have time with your husband, and making sure that you're still going to prepare something for him, like date nights. It's also important. So I think if you really want to ask me if I do have any any like process, like like if I do a note, if I do like this and such, I really don't have any, because even up until now, I am really just I'm shocked that I'm still here, be able to do this things, because it is really not easy. Yes, it is very very it's really a blessing, and it's really a great thing that I I am actually working from home, seeing my daughter, seeing her milestone. At the same time, the there are also a lot of things that or thoughts that is also coming into my mind sometimes, that am I really doing the right thing, especially when I struggle with finishing a task, and like it's actually a late I actually submitted it late, and I still have a daughter that is really needing my attention. So there are actually certain things that it happens, but I think it's just really a matter of mindset, that you can still do it. You're a better mom. You just need to relax, meditate if you can, because I'm really trying to do that as well. Inhale, exhale. That really helps you to provide better decision, or like gives you a lot of things in a
Yeah.
clear way, because I actually learned that from my coach, from my client, because he is a coach, that a 10-minute, or like a 10-minute inhale and exhale can actually give you really a great result within those time frame. So it's really important that you have that certain time of your life, because it helps a lot. And even though it's hard, but just I just really keep on moving forward. So yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, it's very inspiring, really. All those things that you've shared, it just like hit me because I'm working online, but it's quite different with your situation and mine. With like, I have less responsibility. I have my mom, but it's quite different with like having all these things as a family, a woman, a career woman, a wife, and a mother. And it's just simply amazing. So for those mothers out there who's aspiring also to work from home, or if for you, what would you say to yourself if weren't in the digital space and is also a mom? Like, what would advice do you think you would like to give to aspiring mothers or to your younger self or to yourself right now who does not know or has no any knowledge of freelancing?
Well, thank you so much for that question, Chris. It's really, I have a lot of friends that are out also a mom of like kids, and they are actually working in the corporate office, corporate jobs, and they message me how actually I did, work with what I have right now, and I just really, advise them. And this is also applicable to my younger self because, it took some time for me to really explore freelancing. And, I was actually more focusing on, I cannot really get a client because, of things and such. But it's just really, the very first thing that an aspirant freelancer should really invest on their skills or invest in your skills, because it is really important that you have these skills first so that you know how to to get more clients, or how to start with introducing yourself or selling yourself with the clients that you want to have on your team. So yeah, it's just really to invest in the skills, and then make sure that you have, I mean, once you invested in your skills, make sure that you actually find a niche that actually suits you. And I believe that when you have that, or you're able to achieve that, it will actually help you as well land on a client or land on a job that would actually make things easier, and the compatibility will be there. um and the communication in terms of tasks and delegation will be much easier. So yeah, again, just invest in your skills. And then second is just to make sure to find the proper, or the niche that really fits you, so that you can, be able to have a client that is really that is just really going to be easy, and you will not be having a hard time getting. So yeah, I think that's it.
Awesome. And I think we're running out of time. So, for the last question, where do you think people can find you, can connect with you, be inspired with all things that you put out there about freelancing, being a mom, being a career woman, and this?
So right now I actually have three social medias. You can actually just find me on my Facebook, which is Sheryl Suzon dash Kempis, and then on my Instagram, it's gonna be at Emma Chilalu, and then on LinkedIn, where I really love, posting and such, and I love seeing positive things on LinkedIn too, because you will learn a lot of things for those aspirant freelancers that actually earn this with this amount and such. So I am also a fan of, looking out there and just sharing some stuff with positive vibes.
Yeah.
And my LinkedIn is just my name, Sheryl Suzon Kempis too. So that's it.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And I hope people will be able to connect with you. And also, hopefully, they would also get some inspiration from someone who earns six digit herself. And thank you so much for your time. It's been amazing to have you as my guest, my very first guest for this podcast. Thank you so much. And yeah, see you sometime soon and connect with you also outside of the digital space.
Yeah, soon. Thank you so much for, having me as your first guest in your podcast.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
That's all for today's episode of Savvy Talks. We hope you enjoyed the conversation and learned something new to help you on your online money-making journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you found today's episode helpful, please leave us a review. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time on Savvy Talks.